All right, electrician. So my orbiter has finally arrived, and Electric was sending these out a little bit late. They didn't have them in stock once the bike was available, but I just put it on. This thing is solid as a rock. Here's your inner handle here for the kids if you want to use it as a passenger vehicle. You can fit 2 kids in there, probably 3 small kids in there overall. So I didn't put any seats on this thing. I want to use this as a giant cargo e-bike. So I went out, Target, I got these 2 black 14 by 13 milk crates to stick in there, maximize that space. The entire space here is about 30 inches long and 16 inches across, although the sides kind of angle down, so you lose a little bit of space there. I'm losing probably 5-6 inches there because of that, but you fit 2 kind of normal sized milk crates in there. You can also put something like this in there. I had this on my original Xpedition. It's just basically a giant cooler bag. That is a little bit smaller than the 2 milk crates, so it's one option out there though if you don't want to use milk crates. But I kind of wanted to maximize the space on this long rack back here. I believe this is the longest cargo e-bike rack in the industry. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody has a rack this long. I believe it's close to, let's see, 20. Oh gosh, I forgot now what I said in the original review, but it's pretty long. It might be like close to 28, 30 inches. But it is a long rack. You can fit a lot of stuff back there. That's kind of the goal of today's video. I'm going to fill this thing up. I'm also going to, now that we have a second railing down here, I'm going to put on the extra large panniers. So I had these for the 1.0. They didn't fit that well when they had the orbiter on the 1.0. But we're going to put them on here today because they should fit nicely right down here. You should be able to open them and just massively increase that cargo amount on the Xpedition. So let me get them on. We'll take a quick look. I just measured actually. So it's 3 feet long from basically this point here to the end of the rack right here. So that's a lot of usable space for pretty much any e-biker and offers you a lot of options as far as cargo or kids. All right, now that's some serious cargo action right there. I don't know how many cubic square feet of storage I have, but now we got this on both sides. You can fit like easily 2 Target bags in here that are full. It's probably a good 8 inches across there, and I don't know, close to 2 feet long. You got, of course, the big ones here. Here's the side profile. So I'm going to fill this up with stuff. Now, Electric says 450 pounds is the cargo capacity. So I'm not sure if I can fit that much in there. I don't know if I have enough stuff to put in there, but I'm going to go in the house. I got some weights in there, and I'll find some other heavy shit and try and put it in there and go for a ride. Okay, so I got it loaded up. I've got about 10 pounds, or let's say 12 pounds on each pannier. I put 2 of the electric batteries in there. Those are like 7 each. Actually, so there's 10 pounds in here, 10 pounds in the other pannier. Up top is where it really gets heavy. So I have 4 weights in here, 2 8s, 8-pounders, and 2 20-pounders. So that's let's say 56 pounds. And each of these is about 10 pounds as well. So actually, this is 14, so it's 70, 80. This is yeah, this is like 12. No, this is 16 pounds. So that's 96, and then plus these 2 bag things, $10 each. So I got 104 pounds on this thing. Now that's a problem because this thing I cannot pick up to release the kickstand, the dual leg kickstand. I just can't. The rear of the bike is so heavy, I could not pick it up. I guess I'll show you. So it is so heavy now. As you can see here, I can barely keep the bike upright. So it's way too much weight to handle this e-bike. And this kickstand is, you know, you have to bring it down and you have to lift the bike up in order to get the kickstand going. And it just crashed. I hit my keychain on the way down. So yeah, so this is way too top heavy. I'm gonna have to take some off here. So 100 pounds on the back of this thing is pretty heavy, and it's gonna be an issue with the balance of the bike. So I'm gonna have to lighten the load here and see what happens. All right, so I dropped the top down to about, I don't know, say 40 pounds of total weight there. I kept the battery and stuff in the bottom. It was easier to get the kickstand down now, so I think I'm all set there. So we're looking at what, roughly, I say somewhere between 60 and 70 pounds of cargo back here. So we're gonna take it for a ride, go up some hills. I'm really curious to see how it does in hills, and we'll test it out with a kind of a fully loaded e-bike on the back. Okay, so we're on the Xpedition, loaded up here with about 60, 70 pounds of cargo, and you can definitely feel it in the back there. It's noticeable. You have to kind of balance the bike with your body as you're riding. So it takes work to ride this e-bike with a load. So keep that in mind. And if you put two 30, 40 pound kids back there, you're going to feel that, and you need to balance yourself on this thing. You can see this thing's kind of tippy. I mean, it does go straight, but it definitely wants to tip on one side or the other. The power is fine though. It does feel, it feels a little sluggish. I mean, you're riding a torque sensor e-bike, so you got to put more effort in there anyway. But if you put it up to 5 and you hit that throttle, yeah, it's not quite as quick without a load, but there's 19, 20. So we're gonna do a hill test. I'm taking on my regular hill test, and we'll see how well it climbs with 60, 70 pounds of load underneath it. So stay tuned for that. It's coming. Got across the street okay there with the throttle. Quick enough. You definitely feel the weight back there. It's not like it's light on its feet at this point. It's you get a lot of weight under you. So the bike weighs what, 80 pounds. So you got me, I'm about 180. So it's what is it, 260 plus another 60 pounds. So I'm rocking about 320 pounds of payload here with the bike, myself and the cargo. Again, 450 is top. I can't imagine doing 450 on this thing. Like I said, I had another 30 pounds on the back, and it was way too heavy. You could ride it with that weight, but the problem is just parking it, because you can't pick up. You'd have to lean it against something. I had to lean it against the side of my house for the most part. That was the easiest way I could do my filming here and stuff with it, without having to put that kickstand in there. Because the kickstand it's notoriously it needs effort to put it down. So with any kind of load, that effort becomes a lot harder. All right, still a little speed test here on my flat ground course. PS5, of course, unlocked. Oh wow, at higher speeds, there's much more of a shimmy in this bike. I can feel that rear end just going like this. There's 27, 27.7, 27, there's 28 miles an hour, 28.2. Wow, getting up there to speed, had a little shimmy in there. Again, more weight in the back. That back end just reverberates throughout the rest of the bike. Try that again here. Yeah, once you get over 20, you kind of notice that a bit more. That the front end is a little bit more just wobbly. So you really gotta have two hands on this thing. You'll be carrying kids or cargo. All right, here we go, hill test. Let's drop it down to 5th gear. PS5. About 70 pounds of extra load. I can feel it in my legs a little bit more here. I'm doing 11 miles an hour. Got a pain in my leg. All right, 12. So we'll do 3 parts of this hill. The top part is really steep. It's like, I think it's close to 15% grade. It's short, but it's steep. I just took that rattan up there. It made it up there about 4 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. So it's about 10% over here, just grade. I'll compare it to what I did without a load on my original review video. I'll put that on the screen for you. All right, it's getting harder. Working the legs, 11 miles an hour. Just broke 10. I think we're gonna hit 9. Yep. 9.6, 9.5. 9.5 miles an hour, minimum speed uphill on my regular test course. I think the original review was like 11 maybe, but I'll put a link in the screen there. All right, let's go do this other hill up here. Wait for these folks to go by. All right, here we go. All right, torque sensor. Okay, I'm 9. Here's the steep part right here. Not bad. It hit 7.5 was the min speed up there. So this did better than rattan with no weight on it. So yeah, I give it good marks here on the hill climb. So definitely solid up there. Let's hit the brakes down here with a load. All right, good control stop there. So yeah, this thing did pretty well. Let's go try a little downhill run, then we'll wrap things up. Downhill run with no power. I just stood up going up the hill on the bike and I got very tippy. So do not stand up on the Z-bike with a load because you need to balance yourself. You need a low center of gravity as possible. Two hands on the brakes. Hopefully it doesn't get any shimmy on me down the hill here. I'm gonna tap the brakes a little bit here. I'm at 28 already. Tap it again. All right, there's 32. 31, 33, 35, wow, 36 miles an hour with that load, all that weight. Took a lot longer to stop on that one, but not bad. Didn't feel any shimmy at all coming down the hill with no power at those speeds, so thumbs up. All right, so there's your Xpedition cargo e-bike run review, test ride, whatever you want to call it. So I wouldn't recommend putting anything more like 70 pounds on the back here. Otherwise, it gets a lot. It gets very rear heavy. So keep that in mind. A couple of 40-pound kids, I think, is okay. But yeah, expect a very heavy bike back there. You have 3 feet of rack here you're working with, and this thing itself is 30 inches wide. So it's got a big profile. It's a wide body for sure, a wide load, if you will, and you're gonna need some extra muscle there toting anything around back here. So definitely get a workout for sure as well. But yeah, pick one of these up. Again, I think with the dual battery version is $1,600 roughly. I'll put a link in the description. If you want to pick one of these up, please use my links. I'm an affiliate of Electric, make a small commission. I think it's like 3% or something if you pick one of these up. So help support the channel. It was a slow winter, so hopefully a lot of you guys are thinking about buying e-bikes now and getting out there on the road. So that's it for now. I'll catch you on the next crisscross. Let me know what you think about this electric Xpedition cargo e-bike 2.0, and I'll see you next time.